Welcome to Together, a tool to design with and for all voices. With the suggested pauses, this workshop is about 85 minutes. The live facilitators of this workshop were Manjula Karamcheti, Director of Equity and Student Support at the Woodrow Wilson Graduate School of Teaching and Learning, David Coffey, the Director of the Design Thinking Academy at Grand Valley State University, and me. I'm Ella, founder of Innovators Compass, educator at Olin College, and an alumna of IDEO and MIT. We hope to add their voices to this recording soon. I happen to not be teaching this semester and more able to put this together. We'll keep our South by Southwest workshop description. Whose voices do you hope to raise up? Students, staff, parents, community? Come with the current tension in your school or organization and leave this collaborative workshop ready to enable courageous conversations and constructive actions among everyone involved. We'll use a powerful, accessible design thinking tool that's helped schools and other groups to hear all voices, transcend assumptions, and move forward together. Why a tool to design with and for all voices? Because we believe that lots of stuff is stuck. Individuals, classrooms, schools, communities, not at their full collective potential. We also believe that stuck is not sustainable. We need all voices and hands, hearts, and minds able to move forward together. So we must consciously design everything, from curriculum to culture, for the needs of and with the valuable contributions of everyone involved. Under any circumstances, and certainly now, but we rarely do. Maybe we forget because it's not habit. Maybe it doesn't fit in our schedules and agendas. Really, it's fear, in all involved, of what we might lose: time, control, security. We need ways to design together that overcome forget, fit, and fear. We'll share one way and use it to design more ways. We wish we were doing this workshop with your voices in the room. Please reach out to us anytime with questions or experiences, or if you'd like to do this in real time together. So let's get started. We can always design together, even remotely. If you'd like to think about this challenge with a virtual group, you'll just need a web browser and a way to hear each other, which you probably already have. If you're actually together, you'll want a big piece of chart paper, and each person should have sticky notes and a marker. If you're solo, you could do it online or on chart paper, or just grab a piece of paper and a pen or pencil. If you're in a group, please also take a moment just to catch up with each other if you haven't already. So, whose voices should be but aren't at the table as you design what happens in your class, school, or organization? Pause to pick one to focus on for now. It could be an actual individual or a group. Here are some possibilities. Over 20 years, I've gotten to jam with experts like Dave and Manjula in practices for making many kinds of challenges better. Design, but also things from leadership to systems, communication, learning, and startups. And I'm always jamming with everyday challenge-busting people: educators, parents, students, and others. Looking across these practices, 5 ways emerge that we move forward in any challenge, big or small. We find new possibilities in, first and foremost, who's involved, or our people, and with and for each of them, what's happening now and why, say our observations. What matters most for all, say our guiding principles in this challenge. What ways are there to do this, or do it better, say our ideas. And what's a step to try, a small experiment to see again what happens and why for all involved. These are powerful views we have of any challenge, from its past and present to its future, and its details to its big picture. Whatever we call them, naming these views helps us use and share them. A history teacher helped name this tool our Innovators Compass. Different people and processes explore these questions in their own words and ways. Many forms of design thinking, restorative justice, and a lot of other practices go the careful way that's numbered, understanding what's happening and matters most before offering ideas and iterating experiments. Then there's startup style, intentional cycles of trying ideas and learning from your failures. And of course, life is usually way messier. And we're asking these subconsciously whenever we have a breakthrough of some kind. So the point is to just ask these together more often. And people do, from preschools to staff meetings to global conferences, to get unstuck. There are lots of folk stories at this hashtag and website. I'll share a story from my co-presenter Dave Coffey, and then we'll get started. At Grand Valley State University, the Compass has allowed the students of the Design Thinking Academy to quickly engage people's voices in campus issues with design thinking. Early this year, they led a half-day design thinking challenge for their new president. Over 50 students from across the university worked in teams, generating observations, principles, ideas, and experiments to help consider what's next for GVSU. At the end, President Mantala named and embraced the challenges the students had focused on: supporting financial literacy and independence, career development, campus food insecurity and quality, mentorship, and a sense of belonging to the university. She was very articulate about what this is like for a leader. "This was an experiment for us," she said at the closing of the event. "We didn't come into the room knowing what it would be like from here on out, but the result was incredibly insightful. One of the wonders of innovation and design thinking is that you find out who you need when you need them." If it can be done constructively, leaders are eager to ease tensions and design with and for all voices. But let's start our own story of raising voices, beginning with our own experiences to warm up. On your own, in your head, revisit a moment when your voice wasn't heard in a decision or design that was important to you. Explore that moment with any of these questions, but seek 2 different answers for each. I'll give suggested times for activities. Obviously, pause as long or as little as you want. Let's come back to observations. For another minute, with a partner if you have one or on your own, reflect. What happened for you during those 2 minutes? Why? If these questions had been explored at the time, might it have changed the outcome? We can usually get unstuck and go a long way with these 5 questions. Now, all the different graphic forms and tools of the compass have the same single instruction on top. With and for everyone involved, explore new possibilities in these 5 things. Well, in our toughest tensions and gaps between people, we're afraid to explore with others, to really see and hear them and explore new views of what's happening or new ways to move forward. So my focus this year has been collaborating with people to bring out some key actions of justice, equity, participatory, and restorative practices through the compass in a powerful yet positive way people will opt into and can easily do and pass on. Manjula and her peers at the graduate school have been great partners. Here's where we wound up. In addition to these 5 powerful questions, we'll do 2 more things. We'll learn a simple way of using real or virtual sticky notes that ensures everyone is seen, heard, and recorded, which you can try if you're in a group. We call it Sticky Then Speak, Read, Add, Repeat. And so we truly explore, we're going to go beyond writing statements about what we already think and try to question and surprise ourselves. Simply put, we're going for question marks and exclamation points, not just periods. Let's go. If you're using paper, pause here and make a compass on it with your topic on top, designing with that person or group whose voice you seek to raise. This topic isn't to design solutions to all their challenges right now without them here. It's how to overcome mutual barriers so they can engage in present and future design decisions for your classroom, school, organization, or community. If you're online, one person make and share a compass at iCompass.me. Put in your topic and your name how just your teammates will see it. The site doesn't save any personal information, so you'll want to email yourself the link when prompted or otherwise save the link that it creates. For who's involved, just put the voice you're raising for now. It'll create a compass with those people in the middle. If you're working with others, go to the upper left menu, Share Workspace, copy the edit link, and send it to them. Now you all have a compass. To make a sticky note, you'll just double-click anywhere, then draft for yourself or publish for others to see. If you hover on an existing sticky note, you can delete it or +1 it. You can try that now. We'll follow the numbers the careful, slow-to-go fast way. You'll leave with a small experiment around designing something with these people at the table. Thoughts may happen out of order. Jot them down and hang on to them till we get there. There is no wrong way as long as we ask these questions honestly. No matter what, we always start with people. Let's think about the people involved in your topic of designing with the unheard voice you chose. When I say go, with your group if you have one, add up to 3 people in the center of your circle. More will be too much to work with right now. 1 is obviously the underheard voice. And then, who else is key in whether that voice is heard in how things are done in your classroom, school, or organization? Teachers, administrators, parents, community members, especially consider your own roles. And, borrowing from appreciative practices, recognize one superpower in each of these people, like the students are able to hear what their peers are feeling, or the administrators can really make things happen, or whatever. Don't overthink this, use your heart. You can always throw a question mark on it. Go. As I mentioned before, we're exploring, not just filling in the blanks with what we already think. So I've distilled one aha tip and one questioning tip from many different practices, with many of those partners I mentioned before. The aha prompt for the people part is to always see each other as full people before focusing on whatever topic, so we don't just see them as a help or barrier to our own agenda in that topic. That's why we encourage you to just catch up with your group earlier. This is critical, no matter how you choose to do it. And then together, to really seek perspectives at the margins from different extremes of experience around any challenge. If people who are involved aren't present to contribute yet, it's important to recognize them and wonder about their experiences. So we'll do that, always adding a question mark. Let's dig into observations. This is space to really see what's happening and why for all the people involved. It's an earthy orange because it's where we get the real dirt and get grounded in reality. We're going to take the most time and care here because it's our foundation. Our ahas here are when we see a different side of what's happening. And notice the upside is before the downside here, again, an appreciative practice. Or when we get past generalizations to real observations with new details, like what people are actually doing, saying, thinking, feeling, and why. Foremost for our own experience. I'm furious. Wait, or is it angry? Actually, I'm just really frustrated. Ideally, everyone can explore and express their own experience, but if they're not present yet, challenge the details in your own observations of them. Get past, that boy never speaks in front of me, to, wait, actually at these moments he does, and at these he doesn't. The whys are the most important part. We can't know another person's why, but we can wonder and add a question mark. Like for the boy speaking up example, we could wonder, why does he speak differently? Is it the role or environment I'm in? Is it whether his parents or peers were around? Those questions are the paths to our ahas. Equity and identity work teach us to look at present, past, personal, and cultural experiences that might play a role here. When I say go, take a couple of minutes to explore observations on your own. If you're using real or digital stickies, give each observation its own sticky and hang on to them or save as a draft till we share. Details are easier if you picture specific moments where designing together has and hasn't happened. Try to explore a couple of whys deep, present and past. Feelings are our most powerful clue, which is why the people drawn in the center have those little hearts. Nonviolent communication practitioners offer a feelings list to help explore feelings, and we'll do that here. Add some question marks, at least for other people. Go for about 3 minutes. If you're with a group, we'll share now using read, add, repeat, a way of ensuring everyone's heard. One person just read what's on one of your stickies and post or publish it on the compass. Anyone with a similar thought can read it if they like and post it next to the first or +1 the first. Then someone else takes a turn to read and post a sticky, and others cluster around it. Once the original stickies are all out, talk freely, but nudge each other to surprise and question. And still capture your thoughts. Consider continuing to sticky then speak so people pull their thoughts together and leave airtime for others. Pause for maybe 10 minutes. Now let's zoom out to principles. This is space to see, given what we've observed, what matters most. Big picture for everyone involved. This one's a star in yellow because we star important things and because these principles are guiding lights for our ideas and actions. The aha here is to use our observations to get beyond just the things that should matter, say safety and collaborating, to recognizing competing things that also matter for people, like time or sense of control. When we see those competing principles, we nail the real challenge here and give our collective human creativity a crack at coming up with ideas for it in the next section when we do ideas. That's the only way to make it better. Different things may matter for different people, and we may each have our own competing principles. Adding a question mark here is often the most powerful way to open up new possibilities. What if that mattered less? Always being right? Question mark? Being the one in control? Question mark? Maybe that principle is just that things somehow feel in control to everyone. Now take a couple of minutes to explore principles on your own. If you're using stickies, write one thought per sticky and hang on to them. If you're in a group, share the same way. One person reads what they wrote on one sticky and posts it. Others add similar ones around it. Then someone else takes a turn to read, and so on. Then keep exploring and capturing. Now we get to let those principles inspire our ideas for the future. We're looking for the big picture of lots of different ways to make those principles come to life before getting down into details. This is space to dream, so these can be blue sky ideas. Anyone and anything can help. You can always get lots more ideas by changing the who, what, when, where, or how of ideas you already have, especially embracing other people. Who else might contribute or lead that activity? What else might be done? In what new times, places, or ways that enable participation? Use the principles you just made to inspire you, but don't judge yet. If you've got a doubt about an idea, write it down as a question and keep moving. Now take a couple of minutes to explore ideas on your own. Groups, read, add, and repeat. Now let's take a short break from our work for some storytelling that might spark ideas about using this innovator's compass as one part of raising those voices. Add any ideas that do come up for you as we go. I'll share one longer story and 3 quick ones. The longer story is a year of raising voices that began when Mary Murata brought the compass home from South by Southwest EDU 2019 to her high school. She and teacher Melissa Foley-Proco invited students to form groups around long-standing tensions. Some of these might look familiar. Now the principal was in the room, very curious about where this would go, but he didn't circulate. So students were just working at tables and talking to one another and their teachers. The students offered their observations, principles, and ideas. Mary was at first frustrated by the students' focus on hunger until she understood what an influential issue this was in their class experience. Then the students worked with their teachers to propose small first experiments, like these different ways to break up long block to tackle hunger, fatigue, and restlessness. Notice the iCompass.me and Jamboard EdTech mashup here. Anyway, they tried different iterations and observed what happened together. The students socialized, walked, snacked, talked, and played games. Miss Foley got work done. Long block felt shorter and more focused because the breaks broke it up and gave them something to look forward to. They kept iterating and finally reflected on the experience together. Miss Foley learned not just that a break made students more productive and eliminated challenging student behaviors, but more about what matters to students, and that when you give students a voice, they commit and own their work. As for students' observations, my favorite was a fun way to make change. Mary, Melissa, and the principal invited the staff to do the same on topics like improving meetings and different processes. And here are some staff reflections. Fosters freedom of thought, action, productivity, collaboration, and speaking up. These student and staff reflections are totally the why of this tool and all the years of work from so many people behind it. As the school inches closer to designing a new building, the leadership is considering using these questions to engage all voices in the visioning process. Here are 3 more quick stories around engaging students and parents just for ideas. They shared videos on innovatorscompass.org that you can use to learn more. There are many stories of inviting students to constructively talk through conflicts with the compass rather than using discipline. There are also stories of engaging parents' voices with the compass's few easily translated questions, in big groups on shared topics like attendance and school culture, and individually on topics like observing and supporting their own child's progress together. If that sparked new ideas, add them now and then continue. Okay, back to details. An actual specific step you will try, because as we say, you never know until you try. That's why these are real blocks and not fluffy clouds anymore. Even if, when your experiment doesn't work perfectly, like these blocks, it's a source of growth for you and your ideas and moves you forward. That's why it's green. That said, in these tough tensions, it's easy to do damage, so we want to be careful, building in small steps to go faster in the long run. So here again, our feelings are our guide. If we feel scared, make it smaller. Think what you can try with $1, 1 minute, or 1 person. Then it's the real details, who, what, when, where, and how, that make sure you actually do it. It doesn't just stay a general idea. Like, I will ask this person this question right after Tuesday's staff meeting. Or, I will see if one student and one teacher will volunteer to try these Compass questions together during Wednesday's lunch. Experiments start with questions, and the key here is to focus on just one or two key questions that came out above for now. What step might help you fill in some missing observations or probe your questions about an idea that seems like it might fulfill your principles? That'll tell you what to try next. So take a few minutes and first explore solo. What small, specific experiment could you try around a current tension to begin to see, hear, and design with this underheard voice? To help with it feeling small, here are a few ways from restorative practices that you can listen using the Compass questions or any prompts, depending on where trust is at so far. You can do group work, like with Sticky Then Speak as we did here. You can build up, like anonymously capturing the views of the least heard and letting others build on those. Or listen entirely separately and report back to everyone. If you're in a team or generated a few possible experiments, pick an experiment and consider what you'll try to observe. Continue when you have. Now do something to make sure this experiment happens and or bring others into your work. You can use an accountability partner. How will you check what was done and learned? That brings us back to observations. Revisit your own observations and feelings about designing with this underheard voice. Have any changed? Why? Any other reflections on what happened for you today? Take a moment to share your experience with others present, or not present if you like. For us, the takeaway is that we must find powerful and real, yet constructive and simple ways forward together for hard problems, or people opt out, and time is running out for those we serve and for all of us. So please do try this at home. Go to innovatorscompass.org/resources for always free graphic formats that have been used from preschools to the U.S. Conference on AIDS. That includes posters, worksheets, a pocket compass, and all the tips you saw here. And thanks to Hugh Nguyen for iCompass.me, which you can always use. The online platform Mural also has awesomely included a compass template for any Mural users out there. All we ask is that you share back your stories by tweet or by email. You'll see many of those stories at the hashtag and website for others to learn from. But at the least, your exit ticket is to reach out to us with just one question, observation, or idea for us to make this work better. Thank you so much. Go be an unsticker.